What are you two? It's but TJDaKid back with another video, man. Now we got Madden 26 official franchise deep dive. Madden comes out April 14th, around that area. And NCAA come out next week. So shit. Next week I'm on NCAA crazy, uploading on this channel. And then when Madden come out, I'm on that too.
Franchise enters a new era in Madden NFL 26.
And I'm planning on posting my online franchises for Madden and NCAA. I do both. I'm gonna try to upload those. I'm gonna see what y'all rocking with. I'm gonna try
in over a decade, built around your vision, your strategies, and your identity as a coach. The first step in establishing your franchise legacy is to choose what kind of coach you want to be. All new coach art.
Oh shit! Offensive guru, defensive guru. That damn. Development wizard, real. Well, I don't know what that is. So you can have offense, defense, or like player development.
Archetypes offer unique identity.
I think I would like player development.
With strengths and progression paths inspired by real
life coach to take over the head coach of any NFL team, utilizing coach abilities to run it by the real life
NFL coaching styles.
Oh, that's like taking a real coach over.
Then customize your coach's look with hundreds of new options.
Hey, new drill.
Now it's time to strategize.
Damn, you can wear J's and shit on the sideline.
The strategy system lets you attack each opponent with more detail and control. How you prepare.
Set coach abilities, your loadout available. Set coach abilities, utilize your staff skills, utilize play sheets, and get it.
Is up to you.
All right, I'm gonna watch Eric Rayweather did after this anyways.
Identify counters and make tough calls that will shape your season and your coaching legacy.
He's gonna get more deep into it.
Expand your strategic arsenal with all new coach abilities. 48 game day abilities and 28 seasonal abilities.
Oh, what the hell? Dash and dots as a coach
that can be upgraded over.
And then you actually got coordinators. You got a head coach, offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. I mean, you had that in past Madden. Now that I think about it, never mind, I'm tripping.
4 tiers of progression. Every success lets you unlock powerful new abilities and open additional ability slots for more variety and control to outsmart weekly opponents. Adjust your ability loadout for unique strategies each week without compromising your true coaching identity. Now you can build a ball control offense or a defense that lives on turnovers. Stack and upgrade abilities to fit your scheme. And you won't be the only one game planning. New AI coaches and franchise will strategize against your style, adapt to your tendencies, and exploit your blind spots on game day.
I was just a bad boy.
New play sheets are focused sets of plays you can bring with you on game day to expand your base playbook. Play sheets enhance your strategy with situational firepower, and each one upgrades through 4 tiers, unlocking player boosts tied to those plays. Choose from styles like run and shoot, heavy sets, or blitz heavy packages, and master a specific play sheet.
Oh, that might be kind of hard too. Like you got, that's kind of tough. Like so you got shit like within, like you could change your like scheme. I feel like within the game.
Choose from styles like run and shoot, heavy sets, or blitz heavy packages.
Wow, okay.
And master a specific play sheet for maximum impact.
Play sheets sound hot fire.
Equip up to 4 play sheets weekly, integrating them into your play call menu for more strategic control on game day. Play sheets also make your coordinators more relevant to game planning than ever. Each coordinator brings unique abilities and specialized play sheets you can equip weekly. Want to blitz a rookie QB or run a modern college scheme? Hire the coordinator with the tools to make that happen. Wear and tear in franchise adds a new personnel challenge to your weekly routine.
Ah, damn. They bringing this from college.
And we're giving you the tools to best manage player usage during the season. New dynamic injury statuses can change after each week's training. Rest players to protect them, or push them, and risk a setback that may keep them sidelined on game day.
I usually
all new trainer abilities can help reduce wear and tear and help your
players. My practice anyways, cause they didn't have like the they didn't have the wear and tear, but they'll have like your players tired. Like it's
recover faster.
Too hard.
Control your team's practice intensity, oversee player development, and find recovery for your superstars, especially as the season wears on. The new Coach Central Hub is your home base and an overview of your franchise's details. Review and upgrade your staff abilities and play sheets, and keep track of your new coach approval rating. As the leader
Dang,
of
bro,
an
I'm gonna have to
NFL
break this shit
franchise,
down for
everyone's watching, and your choices carry weight. Your approval rating ultimately determines your job security. Build enough goodwill, and you might just survive a tough season. Rich Eisen's iconic voice guides you through the defining moments of your NFL coaching journey.
A change he's just made to the lineup will surprise plenty of people. So much so that even some
do got
in
an
his own
iconic
building
voice.
have questions.
Eisen's commentary reacts dynamically to your unique path, shaping a personalized narrative that makes every franchise experience feel different. In Madden 26, every week will feel like a unique challenge.
This
You'll
right
face
here,
weather
though.
as an adversary, from heavy snow to pounding rain.
I gotta have heavy snow, like just at least like a couple times. Like my first couple games gotta be heavy snow, bro.
You'll
Against
face
the
weather
boys,
as an adversary, from
that's gonna
heavy
be a
snow to
movie.
pounding rain that can reshape how you game plan. And for the first time ever, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night games each deliver a distinct look, sound, and feel with authentic
different
primetime broadcast
scoreboards.
packages. A true
That's
NFL
hard.
Sunday isn't complete without a recap of the week's
Hey.
highlights. And who better than Scott Hansen to host Madden's all-new
Hansen.
franchise halftime highlights and weekly recap shows.
Welcome in, everyone, to the halftime report. Dare I say, ladies and gentlemen, the witching hour
Oh,
is
so,
almost
like,
upon
it's
us.
so, like, actual
Dare I
halftime
say,
reports?
ladies and gentlemen, the witching hour is almost upon us. So let's get after
I
it.
might actually not skip halftime
Build your
reports.
coaching legacy and take control with new abilities, play sheets, weekly strategy, and more in EA Sports Madden NFL 26. Pre-order the MVP bundle to get 3-day early access.
I know I already got that bundle. We aired right weather with
The
it.
Madden 26
I
franchise
know, I
mode
speed it
and
up,
presentation deep dives just
24
went
minute
live,
vid.
and there's a ton of information to cover. This video is sponsored by EA, as they did give me this information a little bit early so that I could get this video ready quickly for you guys. Now, for franchise mode, EA did release a trailer and a deep dive blog. For the presentation portion, they just released a blog and some screenshots. So we're going to cover franchise
Oh, they got
mode first,
gameplay
a
too.
trailer
I don't know if I'm gonna put the gameplay in this video or should I make it another video. I'm gonna see.
and a deep
Depending
dive
how long
blog.
the
For the
gameplay
presentation portion, they just released a blog and some screenshots. So we're going to cover franchise mode first, and then towards the end of the video, we're going to cover presentation.
Break it
which got
down
a
for
big
me.
overhaul this year. And if you don't want to miss the rest of the Madden 26 news and gameplay that I'll have coming soon, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss those important
How much
videos.
my
For
boy
franchise
at?
mode in Madden 26, they said first that they wanted you to feel like a real NFL head
My
coach
boy
every
at
single week all season long. Whether it's
637.
building your staff, adjusting your strategy, or preparing for your next opponent,
He
they want
getting
your
that
decisions to
bill,
matter.
bro.
Secondly, they focused on making sure every game feels different. From AI behavior to player traits to weather effects and opponent tendencies, they want each matchup to feel unique and bring new challenges. And they said on top of that, they want Monday nights to feel special. They want you to feel the shift in atmosphere when the calendar flips to December. They want you to see what's going on around the league via halftime shows and weekly recaps. So they've done a lot of work in bringing more life to the mode this year. But what's funny here is before they even get into any of the features and things that they changed, it said their number one priority was that they wanted screens to load quicker, and they said that they definitely know that we wanted them to load quicker as well. It said that they spent a lot of time in development making sure the screens would load quicker, and it said that they agreed that they felt sluggish and they wanted to make sure that they addressed that right away. It says we know it's not the most exciting change to the mode this year, but we know you'll appreciate it and it should definitely improve your experience. And I know this is kind of funny, but it actually is a really big deal. The menus the last few years have been incredibly sluggish, and that takes away from the mode in a big way because it is a mode where you're constantly having to click in and out of a bunch of different screens. There's a lot of things that you have to tinker with, and when the screens load slow, it makes you not want to play it. So
I
this
feel
is
like they
actually
add
good if they
more
did
shit
address
though.
this. So let's
Man,
talk
if they
about
make
coach
it
creation.
quicker,
It says
it's
in order to
cool.
make sure your coach feels like you, they need to look the part. Custom coaches got a massive overhaul with 200 new heads to choose from when creating your coach. There's also a ton of new gear exclusive for custom coaches with more than 50 new shirts. 50
And I
pins,
low-key might come out with a different fit every week though.
200 new heads to choose from when creating your coach. There's also a ton of new gear exclusive for
Like look at all the shoes though, man.
custom coaches with more than 50 new shirts, 15 pants, and 40 shoes. You can make more than 30,000 combinations to wear on the sidelines. We kind of already knew this
30,000?
because they've touched on it a little bit already, but yes, coach creation is now.
Okay, this is horrendous. This LA fit, horrendous. This dude look like that dude off of Gina in Georgia. Dude on the left look like he's not a coach, gang. Like, okay.
Finally up to par, which is good. Now it's
Shit,
move
KC
on
don't
to
look
your
like he a
coaching
coach
archetype.
either.
Now for Madden 26, every coach is going to fall into one of three archetypes: offensive guru, defensive
Like
genius,
he's
or
working the
development
movies.
wizard. Your chosen archetype will shape your ability path and growth. Created coaches will start at level 1 and can reach level 50 by earning coach XP through goals, seasonal, career, and now in-game weekly goals. And as you level up, you'll unlock new abilities tailored to your archetype. All real-life coaches are also assigned an archetype with fitting abilities. So what it looks and sounds like is they're kind of taking after what they did in the college game. The college coach system was a lot better than what they had in Madden. The way you upgraded coaches, got abilities, built out your staff, it was done pretty well, and it looks like they're just kind of taking that over to Madden now, which I think that's a good change.
development might be the
That brings us to
wave.
the coach ability metagame. Madden 26 will introduce coach
Metagame.
abilities reflecting real NFL coaching traits. They come in two types: game day abilities, which impact live gameplay, and seasonal abilities, which affect team performance over time. At launch, there's going to be 46 game day abilities, 22 offense, 24 defense. Some will boost stats, while others change in-game interactions. For example, the short hands ability will give your receivers a higher chance of catching passes, but you can counter that with the Mr. Dream ability, which gives your defenders an increased chance of knocking out the ball. And here
Mr.
are some other
Dream.
examples on the screen of abilities and the different
Mr. Dice increased pass accuracy 10, 20, 30. QB pressure. Interior dominating, slightly increased success rate against power move, finesse move. All right. Passing propaganda. Parneo. Increased pressure affects QB.
Tiers and what they do at different tiers. So again, kind of similar to what they do with college abilities, and you can see here on the screen just a few examples of what you could equip to your coach, and this will help your team perform on game day. Now, when it comes to season abilities, there are 28 of these at launch, focused on off-field elements like player development, scouting, and staff building. You can use the Practitioner ability for more training XP, Scout's Honor to hire more Tier 3 scouts, or Stud Finder to boost scouting on QBs. These abilities help shape your franchise over time. Now let's talk about tiers and ability progression. Coach abilities in Madden 26 have 4 stackable tiers that increase their power. You can upgrade them via upgrade goals or staff points, but if a knockout goal is hit first, the ability can drop a tier or be lost entirely. Once an ability reaches tier 4, mastery goals lock in each tier permanently. Goals can come in the form of single...
Oh, that's hard too. Like once you get to like they say level 4, it's locked. Like you can't drop. That's hard.
But if a knockout goal is hit first, the ability can drop a tier or be lost entirely. Once an ability reaches tier 4...
So I wonder, is it a better strategy to just get one ability and try to like max it all the way out so it don't go down, and then do, you know what I'm saying, do one at a time.
Mastery goals lock in each tier permanently. Goals can come in the form of single game day goals where you have to perform a task in game, or cumulative goals tracked over time, adding depth and replayability to coach progression. So basically these abilities can tier up or tier down based on your coaching performance, but once you max them out, then you should kind of have them locked in, it seems like, because in theory you have mastered that part of coaching. Now you also can build game plans this year. Weekly strategy and franchise mode have been overhauled to emphasize coach abilities and real strategic decision making. You can manage 3 loadouts: staff, play sheet, and trainer, with staff loadout acting as your weekly game plan. Now created coaches start with 3 ability slots, while top tier coaches get 6. Each week suggested abilities autofill based on your matchup, but you can customize freely. A new matchup panel shows team comparisons, key injuries, and opponent coach abilities, bringing deeper weekly prep to every game. Which brings us to coordinators. It says coordinators finally matter. In Madden 26, they play a major role in team success. If you're an offensive head coach, your defensive coordinator handles all the defensive abilities, and vice versa. Strong coordinators help balance your weaknesses and expand your weekly strategy. They come in different experience levels and can progress, regress.
To be honest with you, in the past, Madden, the defensive coordinator, you just get the defensive coordinator that get the speed, the +2 speed on your DBs, gang.
And master abilities.
That's
just
the
like
only stat you need.
Coordinators also have their own goals that earn coach XP, making their development key to long-term success. So again, going back to college, it sounds like they're just integrating more of the college style of coaching from Dynasty mode into Madden, which is a better system, so this should be very big for franchise mode. Now let's talk about play sheets. Probably one of the bigger changes they're implementing, at least that's what it sounds like to me. It says that play sheets in Madden 26 are basically mini playbooks that add unique plays to your base playbook. This is what real life coaches do on game day. They have 4 tiers. Tier 1 unlocks the play sheet, while higher tiers give player boost during those plays. Play sheets level up or down using the same upgrade, knockout, and mastery system as the coach abilities. So here are some examples of play sheets. You have a West Coast play sheet, for example, based on the classic scheme that rose to prominence in the 1980s. The West Coast play sheet focuses on ball control, rhythm, and high percentage passing concepts. So as you can see, the different tiers you'll get if you're running the West Coast play sheet. Coaches with this play sheet would include Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, Jim Harbaugh, and Matt LaFleur. Here's another play sheet, wide empty. Utilizing 5 wide receivers in every inch of the field, the wide empty play sheet will spread the defense out to the max, stressing defensive backs and forcing them to cover every blade of grass. And here's some example of what the play sheets do at different tiers. Coaches with this play sheet: Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, Kevin O'Connell, and Kellen Moore. And there's more examples in the blog, but I think you kind of get the gist of it. You'll have a play sheet loadout with up to 4 slots based on the coach level that lets you bring extra plays into each game. These play sheets integrate into your play calling menu with their own tab, showing all equipped play sheets, their tiers, and performance stats, making them easy to access and track in game. Now let's move on to managing your staff. This is going to be key in Madden 26, with abilities now extending to coordinators and trainers. You can use the Coach Central Hub to track staff goals, unlock abilities, and shape your strategy. If your staff doesn't fit, the Coach Carousel lets you fire and replace them. Job security tracks coordinator stability, updating with team performance. CPU teams use the same system, so your top coordinators could be hired away, keeping the competition fierce. Coach Central plus approval ratings. This is something else that's interesting here. Coach Central is your hub for managing your coaching staff abilities and play sheets. The overview tab shows your coach's status, abilities, and approval rating, which reflects how well you're managing key groups: the GM, the staff, the players, the fans, and the media. A low rating could cost you your job. The abilities and play sheets tab let you track progress, unlock new items with staff points, and view upcoming or locked content.
This shit might get deep, though. I gotta stop pausing because this vid. But
rating. If your rating is too low and your support is weak, you might find yourself out of a job. If you do hang on, your approval rating carries into future seasons. A rough year can put you on the hot seat, forcing you to bounce back and rebuild trust with the key groups following the season. So that's something I think is interesting. I like that aspect of things. Moving on to player traits, Madden 26 will...
I think it's just going to be way easier once you get your hands on
upcoming or locked content. And when it comes to the approval rating, if your rating is too low and your support is weak, you might find yourself out of a job. If you do hang on, your approval rating carries into future seasons. A rough year can put you on the hot seat, forcing you to bounce back and rebuild trust with the key groups following the season. So that's something I think is interesting.
It was like that in college too. Like if you do bad,
moving on to player traits, Madden 26 will introduce 50 unique player traits that shape AI behavior, making CPU players feel more realistic. For example, Josh Allen's run over trait makes him more likely to power through tackles. These traits apply to all positions and draft prospects. And we already know about this because they talked about this more in depth in the gameplay deep dive, because this is more available of a gameplay thing here where the traits are going to make players play like their real life selves. So Kyler Murray is going to be a little more sporadic when he scrambles. He's going to have his running motion. Some quarterbacks are good at navigating the pocket and scrambling around, but keep their eyes downfield and will always wait for that last second to still try to get the pass off before they run. Things like that. So this is a gameplay thing, but this matters a lot for the CPU gameplay in your franchise mode because like they said, they want every week to feel different. So you want to feel like Kyler Murray is different than Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. So these player traits in theory should help week to week teams feel unique. And here are just some examples of some of the player traits up on the screen here if you want to pause and read it. This will just give you an idea of what...
Y'all can pause and look at this if y'all want to, bro. I think we went over this in the first Madden one.
Now let's talk about opposing coach DNA and real-time coaching AI. Madden 26 introduces coach DNA, a system that reflects each NFL head coach's strategies and behaviors, making each matchup more authentic. Powered by data-driven coaching, a machine learning model trained on real NFL data, the AI now calls plays based on real-life tendencies. This includes dynamic coach suggestions and personalized strategy. For example, Dan Campbell takes more risks, Nick Sirianni is going to focus more on RPOs. Again, we heard about this a little bit more in the gameplay deep dive, but this is big for franchise too because you want the coaches you're going against to call the game like they would in real life. So that should really help franchise feel a little bit more alive if you feel like each team, again, is truly unique. Here's another big one, wear and tear. We heard about this a little bit in the other deep dives as well, but they are introducing wear and tear, which tracks every hit a player takes to reflect real-life health management. Overusing stars like Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson will impact their performance as the season progresses. With dynamic subs and full slider customization, you can adjust workloads and keep players fresh. Injuries have a recovery range rather than fixed weeks, adding suspense and realism. Now, there's something called dynamic injury status. It says injuries evolve week to week, influenced by factors like wear and tear. Players may improve or worsen, adding unpredictability to availability. You can now rest individual players instead of just adjusting by position, making for more strategic decisions. After training, you'll see updated statuses, out, doubtful, or questionable, and XP gains helping you decide if a player is ready to play. And this is where trainer roles and abilities come in. There are certain abilities that will help you manage wear and tear. These can help you recover faster, reduce injury risk, and improve chances of returning from injury. You'll activate trainer abilities each week in weekly strategy, giving you more control over player health. Now let's move on to some of the really good stuff that people have been waiting many years for. Let's talk about broadcast packages. It said that they're thrilled to finally give players the experience of 3 primetime broadcast packages in addition to the new Madden package. Each primetime game is composed of premium assets with a different look, sound, and feel. So Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night games will all look and feel different. So you're going to see different scoreboards for these games, custom broadcast graphics for pre-games, drive starters, and touchdowns. There's also package-specific wipes for players and teams. And it says one of the favorite things they've created for each broadcast package is an NFL bumper that precedes a game. The stunning visuals and authentic music are complemented by the Super Bowl's annual PA announcer, Al Roach. Last year, we introduced 3 commentary teams. This year, we assigned each one to a primetime package. So Thursday night, we'll have Gordon and Davis. Sunday night has Tirico and Olsen. Monday night has Kate Scott and Brock Heward. And it says as you make your way through a season, what you hear about a QB taking the field from Greg Olsen's perspective will be different from the games assigned to Brock Heward and Charles Davis. For the games that aren't primetime, the commentary team will be chosen at random. One of the most memorable and distinct elements for the primetime packages are the theme songs. We compose a specific version of each one of them. Our custom audio elements are also delivered in details with the specific sound designs you'll hear for the various banners and wipes. And I got to see a little bit of this when I was down at EA, and it looked and sounded really good. The music actually sounds like something you would hear when you're tuning into these primetime games.
I guess it's not going to be the exact same
music. Unique. And again, kind of going back to what they said at the very start of this blog, they want every week to feel different, and this is a part of that. I'm just glad this stuff is finally here. And that brings us to the halftime report. It says Madden 26 introduces the halftime report featuring highlights from around the league. And
I wonder how this gonna be, bro.
Online leagues. Scott Hansen hosts with his signature energy, bringing context to matchups and even special moments like National Tight Ends Day. The broadcast package theme songs enhance the epic feel of the show, making halftime a highlight in itself. Finally, after, I don't know, what's it been, about 20 years, we've got a real halftime show. Not only showing highlights, but it will show your friends' highlights in multi-user leagues. When a friend's highlight is chosen for the show, their customized player card will appear on screen. If it's a highlight from a game with 2 other players in your online league, you'll see each of their player cards. And this is something that's never been in an NFL video game before. Not seeing your friends' highlights in the league. So I'm just glad that, look, we've waited forever.
I want to see how that looks.
It been done a long time ago. It's finally here. And I feel like they kind of came in a big way with it. I mean, they got Scott Hansen, which is like the perfect person to get for it. And it sounds like he's going to also personalize things and mention important moments. And they also added a weekly recap show in the Franchise Hub showcasing highlights from across the league and your multi-user online leagues. Hosted by Scott Hansen, the recap includes insights like first-year head coaches wins, win streaks, playoff races, and postseason clinches. Again, we've waited so long for this. And the fact that we're getting all of this in the same year to me is kind of crazy. Like I said, EA's been building to some of this for the last few years. They finally started to take the mode more serious, but it seems like this year, it's just a lot coming at one time that we've been waiting for.
I mean, they got like backstage and them walking.
We're not used to seeing this much delivered at one time. And of course, we know about the football weather because they've talked about it in other deep dives, but it does say that they wanted to bring authentic weather to franchise mode, fine-tuning conditions like snowstorms in Green Bay or sunny days in LA. Weather now impacts gameplay with fog reducing visibility, slippery conditions affecting movement, and precipitation testing speed, acceleration, and change of direction. Teams familiar with cold weather like Buffalo or Green Bay will perform better in the snow, while warm weather teams will struggle. Dynamic weather, realistic wind patterns, and varying conditions make each game feel unique. And that's not all. We've also got some core improvements. They've improved the draft logic, it says. Now, I mean, they say this other years too, so we kind of have to see how that plays out. But it says that it enhanced the draft logic by reflecting real NFL trends, more linemen, especially interior defense defensive linemen are drafted, and teams are now willing to draft multiple cornerbacks or wide receivers for depth. Running backs are also valued more, with teams willing to take them earlier. The draft values positions like linebackers, safeties, and edge rushers more accurately. And it says there's new draft prospect generators as well, adding unique traits to rookies for more variety and personality. New player types include gadget players, long snappers, specialized Sam Will linebackers, and rare tight ends, running backs, and safeties. They've also tuned retirement logic. It says it improved retirement logic to keep star players like Derrick Henry from retiring too early, even if they're performing well. The system now focuses more on a player's overall rating rather than just position ranking, allowing veterans to continue playing if they're still effective. It says additionally, cases where players stay too long have been addressed, making retirement decisions more realistic and aligned with real NFL careers.
I feel like as soon as they hit a certain age, they just regress. Even if they play good, they regress. So that's
regression logic. It says that Madden 26 improves.
They don't have to improve, but like just don't regress. Just because you old.
Real life aging curves with position specific decline rates. Development trait regression now only drops 1 tier per season based on performance rather than random chance. Players must hit higher statistical benchmarks to maintain their traits, rewarding consistent success. Ability progression is also updated, making player archetypes feel more distinct with different stat boosts for each type. And they also talk about game and season simulation stats. This is a big one because no matter how many features you bring to the mode, no matter how much you can do for the mode, this is one of those few things that can really hold the mode back for a lot of people. If the sim stats don't seem realistic, it really ruins it for a lot of people. So we have to see how this plays out. But it says that they improved franchise sim stats by reducing the impact of playbooks on the sim engine, making stats more realistic. The sim now focuses more on matchups than playbook assignments, which prevents unrealistic outcomes like a QB targeting one receiver too much. While playbooks still have an influence, the shift to matchup-based decisions has resulted in more balanced stats. And the team is continuously refreshing the engine to achieve exciting but authentic outcomes, ensuring memorable realistic moments for franchise. Now, again, we got to see that to believe it. That's just one of those things. I mean, I know it can be a hard thing to get right, but an improvement there would go a long way. Madden 26 will enhance player morale to reward breakout performances, especially for younger players, for those with lower ratings. If a backup steps up due to injury, their morale gets a significant boost, leading to a potential rating increase and faster progression. This helps players stay motivated even on losing teams and gives them an edge when battling for a starting job. They also talk about revamped player tags logic. So up on the screen here, you can see that they've addressed a few of these. You can pause the screen if you want to read it. I'm going to keep moving along because the video is already getting pretty long, but they did revamp a decent amount of the player tags to make them better. They also updated news stories. It says new weather forecast top stories alert you to weather changes such as rain or snow impacting your game and others around the league. Draft prospect stories now have clear labels, making it easier to follow scouting updates. These improvements, alongside enhanced coaching abilities, weekly strategy, and weather impacts, make this franchise mode's biggest leap in over a decade. And I know this is marketing and it's a tagline, but I mean, if all this stuff does work properly, or at least most of it, it's definitely the biggest leap the mode has taken in a long time. Now let's move over to the presentation side of things. Now this deep dive isn't as long as franchise, so this won't take too long to get over, but this is good for the entire game, but this is also, again, going to be very big for franchise mode because franchise mode players, they care more about these details, I think, than just the average overall player, so it's kind of like a double whammy if you're a franchise fan. So they wanted to upgrade the game day experience this year. That means field art, mascots, stadium graphics, stadium sounds, uniforms, all that good stuff. So with the field art in Madden 26, it says you'll experience real-world recreations of field art.
I've seen this on Twitter.
Uniforms at home. So for example, the Buccaneers creamsicle uniforms will match the field art.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard too.
You'll see the unique field designs for whiteouts like Cincinnati and Minnesota, or blackouts for teams like the Eagles and Ravens, or the retro field art for teams like the Dolphins and Patriots. And it said the Texans special event looks will also be included. There are many alternate uniforms and field art combinations to discover. This might seem like a small thing, but like when you come out in an alternate uniform that looks completely different than your regular uniforms and the field is like different colors than what you're wearing,
it just hit different, bro. I'm telling you.
They also said that they're
reintroducing. It hit different, bro. The little details, it hit different, bro. Do your research. It doesn't seem like the whiteout games, like you see they do it in like college, right? So you would think they added in Madden too.
Mascots, these have been out of Madden for a while, and they kind of needed to come back for a while, but they obviously needed to rescan them and do them proper because, you know, we're further along now. Technology is better. So they wanted to give the best recreations possible. It said that they started with full scale.
Damn, they haven't had mascots in a minute,
huh? Sent in mascots to them, and it said that they have 18 available at launch. They don't have every single one. They also noted there are 5 teams that don't have in-stadium mascots, so they've got 18 of the 27. It sounds like they're going to try to get the rest in.
Texans. Yeah, Toro.
In an update, but here is a list of the mascots that's in the game now. And it says you'll see the mascots throughout the matchup and pregame runouts during gameplay on the sidelines, reacting between plays, so pretty cool there. They also updated the stadium motion graphics, so you're going to see the real-life teams graphics on the scoreboards or whatever video boards are in the stadiums. Too. The team sent them over to EA, so now they're going to be just like you see in real life. And it says they have motion graphics for.
I wonder if they're going to have a Texan swarm like on the
mascots. They plan to add the rest of them in an update because teams are still sending them. So here are the 26 teams that do have the graphics in the game. So it's most
Texas.
Most teams have them. They just need to get a few more. They've also upgraded the stadium sounds as well. And if you can tell here, the success of college football and how well it was received definitely had to have an impact on the game. Because so many great things about college, it's coming to Madden now. They're putting that same care into Madden, which is a great thing. And it says for Madden 26, these sounds will play a key role in immersion with authentic stadium effects.
I see them now. They got like the end zone blue.
And it says for Madden 26,
these jerseys
will play a key role in immersion
with authentic stadium effects
throughout the collaboration with NFL teams. For example, the Vikings horn sounds are different on first and third down. The outdated sound effects like the Chargers electric zap have been removed. New crowd chants and reactions such as Who Dey in Cincinnati or Who Dat in New Orleans are recorded from tens of thousands of fans to enhance the atmosphere. They also briefly touch on equipment
That
as
shit
well,
get
because I guess they
toxic
kind of consider
in
that part of
Minnesota.
presentation, and it said that they overhauled the uniforms this year to give them a better look. You'll see more wrinkles and a tighter fit. You'll just notice that they also just look better. It's one of those things when you see it in person, the helmets and the uniforms, you can tell that there's more detail in them than in previous years because they kind of refreshed them all. They mentioned things like coaches' hats and visors have 3D embroidered team logos, and team logos are even on thigh pads now. There's also new equipment that they mentioned here from Adidas and Nike, like the Adidas snakeskin cleats and the Nike Edge Pro 362 cleats. Face masks now automatically match the helmet style, which is a really great quality of life change. It says Under Armour gear has been returned to the game because now they're back in business with the NFL. It says they also did work with Team Builder. It's now got a new look and will be 2 times faster. It says render performance is greatly improved, so Team Builder will work on a wide array of devices and lower end machines. Same thing they said for college football. They also mentioned that the game will now have light show runouts for primetime games with powerful orchestration of sights and sounds. And it says you got a sneak peek of some of those with the reveal trailer. We saw some of it, little glimpses of it. It says in the reveal trailer you saw Randy Moss doing the Skull chant, and it said there's going to be other NFL legends returning to their former teams to perform pre-game traditions. It says a few examples of that are Rob Gronkowski ringing the bell in New England as the keeper of the light, Greg Olsen returning to Carolina to bang the keep pounding drum, Charles Woodson lighting the Al Davis Memorial Torch in Las Vegas, Joe Montana blaring the foghorn in San Francisco. And it says some of the mascots also take part in the traditions. For example, Big Red gets things fired up by cranking the Big Red siren in Arizona. And it says one of the most challenging traditions to pull off was Freddie Falcon doing a spectacular zipline stunt in Atlanta. So they got all that stuff in the game. It says they also included stadium music. It says they licensed 40+ songs from a variety of genres for stadium music. Some of these songs will be nostalgic for longtime Madden players. Personally, Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand takes us back to Madden 05. It says some of the stadium songs include Lil Uzi Vert's Just Wanna Rock, Beastie Boys Sabotage, Chapel Rollers, Hot to Go, Flow Riders, Right Round, Foo Fighters, Metallica, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Those are just a few examples. So again, they're just making everything feel real life. Real music in the stadiums, real crowd chants, mascots, real runouts, light shows, different broadcast packages, halftime shows. I mean, we're getting it all this year. That was a lot to cover. Let me know what you think below. I'm really curious what everybody's thoughts at. Where's the morale at going into Madden 26? Does it finally sound like they've given you the things in franchise mode and in presentation that you've been waiting a long time for? Are there still some things you're looking for that weren't there? Let me know. I'm really curious to see kind of what the feeling is going into Madden, knowing what we know now. And if you want to know all the details on Madden 26 gameplay specifically,
all right, so it is a gameplay vid. That's 23 minutes. This vid is 25 minutes. So I'm gonna make it two different vids. So catch me in that vid. That's gonna be the next vid, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, comment down how y'all feel about it.
Tell me something I don't know, some y'all know ain't something I don't know. Yeah. Boy, I've been trapping my ass off, fucking I'ma hit up the old phone. Everybody see that sack, now everybody hit up Lil deep on. Don't hit this phone if you ain't trying to spend no money, I'm trying to get this P on.
Subscribe to the channel, bro.